Welcome to the Everyday Nerd Podcast. You're hanging out with your man Lou P along with Joss.
Hey, everybody.
And, of course, down the line, we got our man DJ GOC in the house.
What's up, everybody?
What is going on? And, of course, today we are going to talk about, now we previewed it, so we are going to talk about the number one money-making movie going on right now on this date, January 6th. 2019, which is expected to make about $1 billion worldwide.
Oof.
That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I can only be talking about Aquaman. So, being that we're talking about Aquaman, Gio, I think we're going to have Joss do a lot of the lead on this. But before we get into Joss doing a lot of the lead on it, you know, obviously we're going to tell the folks out there, Aquaman has made, on its third weekend now, earning $30.7 million. Okay, that's on its third weekend.
Oh, I know.
Okay?
It's going to be just as successful as Black Panther.
Exactly. Now, Black Panther is being mentioned in the works here about how much money that this movie's going to make. Winter Soldier made $259 million. Men in Black, $251. Some of these, the names you've heard before. Black Panther, it goes, yes. Right here, straight from the article, that is a super duper hole for a major superhero flick, on par with the aforementioned Black Panther and the Avengers. So this movie, is going to make some money for DC.
Oh, well, I mean, look at the
Warner
guy
Brothers.
who's starring it,
Yes.
Jason Momoa. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
So
Oh, man.
before we start talking the movie storyline and everything, I'll say this. Yeah, really. There was I have to mention the fact that because it has this great cross appeal, that it's competing with a movie like Black Panther. Because as much as we joke about it, come on, you have women and people that want to just see this movie. They don't know a darn thing about Aquaman and could care less if it's a superhero comic movie. It's an action movie, and if they're entertained. And how many shots did you drink, Joss? Because how many times was his shirt off?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't drinking. Let me just tell you my experience real quick.
Here it is.
So I went with my kids and my husband, and I was like, and I mean, I'm already like, woohoo. So, and they already know I do reaction videos, right? And so they already complain about me. But here I am at the movie theater, and he just shows up, and I had my jacket on top over my mouth, and I could not help. I was like this. I was like, oh wow! And my husband, he had to like lean over, and he's like, "You want to just sit somewhere else?" And I was just like, and I was like, and my kids, and then later on, my oldest one's like, because my husband was like, yeah. You were doing that so much, blah, blah, blah. And then my oldest one, he's like 14, and he's like, yeah, Mom, that was gross.
That was gross, dude. That was so gross, dude.
I'm sorry. He's just too hot.
I think there's a reason why this movie's going to make $1 billion worldwide. I think there's a pretty obvious reason why.
Willem Dafoe, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's William Dafoe. I think it's Dolph Lundgren. The whole Rocky IV appeal. That.
Of course, clearly.
Okay, seriously now. But before we start getting into, let's get into this movie. So, it's an origin movie. So we get to see how Arthur becomes Aquaman and King of Atlantis.
Now, and also, this also took part after the Justice League movie.
Yeah,
because they brought in that line in that little script about how he defeated Steppenwolf.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the thing. It's they talked about how he defeated Steppenwolf and see. We're going to talk about it after we talk about the movie, my thing about that. But so we get to see Arthur, actually it's established that his mother was running away from Atlantis. Mm-hmm. And basically, so it's our turn. It's our turn.
You might as well talk about Mera too. Go ahead. I think she was beautiful. I am against suit envy.
I just gotta say, Tom Cruise, you screwed up, bro. I don't know what they gave you in Scientology, but
well, that's
you better go to the ocean.
Exactly.
Spend more time by the water.
But what's great about it is we see a romance develop between a surface dweller and somebody from Atlantis, which is interesting. And I mean, this isn't a new story where she's running away from an arranged marriage type of situation.
Can I just chime in real quick?
Yeah.
Please do.
I gotta say this. It just goes to show you there are plenty of fish in the sea.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Someone do a meme on that.
But obviously, through the years, the people that she was running away from catch up. They find her, and she takes off and leaves their son with his human father. And so the whole time, which is really interesting, is that Arthur's growing up as a human, yet he has an idea that, because I believe they established with Mera that they've encountered each other before. I think so. And he just kind of looked, whatever. And like you said, he mentioned, I beat Stephen, I did that with a bunch of other dudes, but yeah, I beat Stephen. Well, and you could see there was an interaction already with these two. So he knows he's from somewhere else. Yet he's feeling the whole time because he blames them for the death of his mother. Mm-hmm. He was told that his mother was killed by these Atlanteans. So I get it. He's like, why should I care about this? What's the big deal? Why should I really care? I'm doing fine here on the land. Sure, I could swim for a little bit and I could help out and do some stuff that needs to be done in the water, which is really an excellent scene how it starts out and how this rivalry between him and Black Manta develops.
Oh, yeah. Again.
It's great how that all started out.
Now, just with that itself, with, and... Gosh, I don't know what his original name was. I mean, he wasn't known as Black Manta. But were they seals or were they pirates? They were pirates,
They were just straight pirates.
Yeah, they were pirates. Yeah. And it was him and his father. And, when we got to see that fight scene between them, and then his father, he's like, help my father. And then he just... And for a moment there, it looked like he was going to help. He was going to save his father. But he chose to walk away and go up the ladder. That was pretty...
kind of a judgment call. And obviously later on he regrets it. He kind of regretted doing that in a way. And it's a decision that obviously will be with him for a while, that decision. But the reason why he did do it, though, because they killed... all those sailors right there in that sub. So I kind of got what he meant. I mean, it's like, I didn't kill him, yet I'm not going to save him.
Right.
Type of thing, which is, and I could see both sides. I could see the son's side, like, hey, look, that's my dad. Why don't you help him?
Yeah.
But yet I see Arthur's side that, hey, you just killed all these people.
No, I know. And remember when the father's like, no, you need to live because you need to kill that son of a bitch.
Exactly. It's like... So the hate is being installed into his son, and, the passing over the blade and things like that.
Hey, Gia, what'd you think about him?
Hold on. Sorry, I had a cough. I was actually really interested in how they were going to do his origin story, because he's had a few different origins.
Yeah, you discussed that. So what'd you think of the origin that they came up with for this one?
I think they definitely went safe, which I think was smart, because, you don't want to go the super dark one. Oh, he was molested. That'd be just awkward. But, I mean, I think they did a good way of establishing them, and they had that connection, why he hates Aquaman so much. Because I do know in the comics he does kill his father, but I was wondering, because, the whole thing is how they were doing to introduce him. I think that they did a good way, because it shows Arthur that, hey, I could have saved him, but I didn't, and you're wrong for what you did, killing all these soldiers in the sub.
Yeah, the sailors.
So I was glad. That they kind of went that route, because it would have been really interesting if they had gone the other route. It's like, oh, well, that would have changed the tone of the whole movie. Not in a good way.
And what do you think about with Black Manta as he assembles his his gear and getting the technology from the Atlanteans.
You know, I was kind of wondering when they were going to bring that up, how he's going to get his gear, because he didn't get it till later on, and I thought that was kind of cool. It kind of showed that, okay, he's like a mercenary, he doesn't really have any loyalty, and it just kind of shows how how power hungry the Atlanteans were. That they're willing to do whatever it takes to fight against, you know, the people on land. So that was because they weren't, you know, they made out to be these like pure, or peace and love, we love each other, but like, no, we hate you guys. That breathe oxygen.
Yeah, really. Well, it's pretty much summed up that the Atlanteans, well, actually, it wasn't the Atlanteans. It was,
well, you know,
King,
you know what I mean.
King Orm.
King Orm.
King Orm was the one who had this master plan.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, if you're listening to our podcast here on the Everyday Nerd Podcast, we're going to assume you've seen this movie. So.
Oh, yeah.
And
spoilers.
We will always put spoiler alerts on anything we post, but just in case you're like, what do they got? What are they speaking? What are they talking about? Well, it's already January 6th. You should have saw the movie by now. That's what we'll say on that. But it's obvious that, and I like the fact that they made, you got this sense with King Orm that he needed to establish himself with all the other Atlantean kingdoms. See, even King Nereus, or Dolph Lundgren's guy, you know, I can't say his name correctly, and everybody's yelling it right now at me. I know, I get it. But he had to prove to him that, hey, I'm the king, and so I should rule, and I should be able to be the master of the ocean, you know, type of thing. And it's interesting how you saw how they were not everybody just bowed down to him. They said, no, hold up a second. There's a procedure type of thing, or no, we don't believe in you. And it was really interesting how you saw the dynamic of how he obviously cheated in order to get the kingdom, to do what he had to do. And, you know, everybody knew it all along that, you know, and I'm going to do it in air quotes, the bastard son.
Oh, yeah.
Was really the guy entitled, but he didn't want the job. And see, that's the thing. Yeah, the guy didn't want the job. He didn't want the gig.
No.
Yeah.
But yet, Orm decided to do what he did. You know, he wanted to stage this big attack on the, you know, that humans were doing this. And obviously, if you watch the movie, there's so many little plugs for the environment.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
you just knew there was.
Like, they were talking about how, you know, with the humans, they've just destroyed the water and the oceans because of all the pollution, all the garbage.
Exactly. And how
into the water.
How the Atlanteans unloaded the humans' garbage right back at them, which is, you know, hey, I get that. It's interesting. You know, it's like, okay, you people have done this to our world. Right.
This was their world.
This is you. This is your trash. So they basically gave it back. And that was interesting how there was obviously that little message, and with the current political landscape going on right now, this movie, obviously, you just knew it was going to touch on it. And it's really good, just the fact that, you know, you could, like we've said in previous podcasts, Joss, that, you know, what I love about sci-fi and movies like this is you can make your message without actually saying, here's our message.
It's like,
you know, so it's like, boom, it's in your face.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, some of the things we loved about this movie were obviously the action sequences.
Oh, yeah, the action sequences. And I think just for me, what I loved about this movie was just like all the visual. To me, I'm a very visual person, so I loved all the graphics. I mean, I love like the color of how they made the oceans. I just loved, you know, it was just vibrant in just this world, this Atlantean world.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. Even when they showed what it used to look like with the first king, and yeah, it was just so awesome. I mean, just the costume design, again, is very similar to Black Panther to me, because we got to see the world of Wakanda, you know, and we were like, whoa. And then for me, seeing it in this sense, in the water and the oceans, again, I was really wowed by all the designs with it, and the color, and just like the way the movements were, and even like the creatures. Those creatures were so cool.
Yeah.
They were so cool.
Yeah. You know what I did like though when he was a young boy and they're at the aquarium.
Oh yeah.
And you know, that'd be kind of cool. Because again, if you heard our previous podcast about when we talked about the trailer for Aquaman,
right.
We mentioned how whenever we saw Aquaman in Super Friends or whatever, we thought he was a weak character and he's really unnecessary. Heck, even people said the Wonder Twins were more interesting than Aquaman, so that's kind of bad there. But I love the fact that really, if I had this power to control fish.
It was awesome.
See, it seemed cheesy at the time when you would watch it on Saturday morning, but when you watch it on the screen and, whoa, you could control those sharks. You know,
and not even the shark, but like that ultimate, I don't know what that creature was.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That huge.
When he became worthy of the Titan, got worthy of the Triton. He got the real Triton.
That was so awesome. How she even said, no one has talked to me for like centuries.
Yeah, and he proved himself.
And he had the ability to understand her. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I mean, that's what I really loved about just that. What about you?
Yeah, and that also showed me that women just want to be heard, bro. That's all.
Hey, he does have a point there, right?
Again, you were talking about how there's all these messages that they're trying to put into the movie.
There's more.
And they don't have to
a lot of messages.
Say it.
A lot of messages. But you know what's awesome? Okay, if you could name off some, and I'm sure some people will on the comments when they listen and watch our podcast here are going to mention some of the Easter eggs on there, and a couple of them I picked. The one I really picked up on, and I was waiting for it all movie, was when he would get on a seahorse.
Oh yeah.
And he had the Triton. He would take off.
Yes.
That's why I go, okay, that's the old school look of Aquaman.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
He had his uniform on, or the outfit and everything. That was kind of cool. And I don't know, did you guys pick up? I know there was a couple of other ones. I might have, it slips my mind right now, but I know there were a handful of Easter eggs.
I can't,
in the movie.
I'm not aware. I like I said, I don't remember that. But what'd you think about Mera? Just like her character, her powers.
See, now here's the thing. Again, it's not like we haven't seen this before where she's betrothed to somebody or she's supposed to marry somebody and that whole deal.
Yeah.
But we mentioned it before going into when we talked about the trailer and we talked about how now we're starting to see strong women characters.
Right.
And I love, she was tearing it up.
When
they were in
awesome.
Italy or Sicily, they were tearing it up. And I loved it. I go, she was awesome. Definitely awesome. And she could fight. And that's what I love about this. Now you're starting to see strong women come out. And it's really good. Yeah. And definitely they're not just the weak, we're the pretty ones, and then the hero needs to say, no, she's actually helping him.
Well, just like the mother. Just like Atlanta. I mean, when those guards came at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they wanted to bring her back into the water. And, she just held her own. She's like, take the baby. And just like,
exactly.
Like, wow.
See, it starts from there. And that's what's really good.
That was so cool.
I like that. Now, so obviously, we won't go into too much detail about, a lot of stuff we talked about, though.
Oh, yeah.
But the one thing I do want to walk away, out of this movie, for one, obviously all three of us recommend it. We recommend the movie in case you haven't figured that part out yet. Ladies, you may go for some other reason. Or, hey, some gentlemen too. Hey, we got to give equal time. That's good. That's cool.
Some guys who really like
it too. Okay, and I've been accused of having a man crush on him. I've been accused of that. It's like, hey, I'll admit he's a good-looking guy.
Well, I did buy my tickets for August.
Which is awesome.
I am going to meet Jason Momoa at the Silicon Valley Comic-Con.
We will discuss that.
Yes, and I already I'm working out.
What's going to be great is if you take the picture with your husband. He does. Yeah. It's great when husbands and boyfriends, whenever he takes a picture, he's going to have fun with whoever it is.
Yeah, and I'm just like already, okay, should I have him kiss me on the cheek? Should we have a hugging pose? My cousin, actually what's funny is that my cousin, she's going to bring her daughter, and her husband's not going to go, but she's like, you know what? I'm going to have him take a picture and hold my girl, and it looks like we're a family.
Now, there you go. That's a good one there. Well, coming off the movie, though, here's the comments I want to say. So, obviously, director James Wan.
Oh.
major props on this one. Excellent movie. I thought it was the right amount of action.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't overloaded. Not too much CGI. Of course, there had to be some CGI, but I liked it. It was balanced out perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
As an origin movie, I thought it was excellent. Good establishing movie.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that is just bugging me about this whole deal.
What?
Okay.
That DC didn't follow the simple formula that their competition did.
Oh.
Now, let's just stop here for a second. If they released Wonder Woman and they released this movie, how do you think DC's looking? They're looking pretty darn good. Like, whoa, they're releasing good movies and they're going to make a bunch of money. Instead of the cash grab they tried to do with Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest problem, guys. My biggest problem with DC is the fact that after watching Aquaman, I was frustrated. I'm like, you guys could have done this, but you decided to try to cram it down.
Huh?
Exactly.
Did you feel it was backwards?
It's totally backwards now.
I mean, well, granted, we had the Superman movie, and then we had Dark Knight with him, and then we had Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, that one, it's like...
But do you think then, are you saying that they should have hold off on Justice League after
yes.
this Aquaman movie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're all in agreement.
Yes. I mean...
make us wait a little bit longer.
Even BVS, to an extent, was kind of... All right.
I didn't like BVS.
And a handful of folks didn't like BVS. And my thing about BVS was, when did it get interesting for Gio? And I guarantee I know when. When you heard those drums beating and you saw Wonder Woman. That's when that movie got interesting. And not because she's hot. Well, hey, she's hot. But just the fact that...
She's Wonder Woman.
Exactly. Here comes Wonder Woman. And she was kicking butt. Yeah. And it's like, okay, fine. It's like, hey, finally I'm into this. I'm into this now. Instead of arguing about mothers' names. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Martha.
It's like...
my mom's name is Martha.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, really?
What if her name was Susan? Would have happened.
My grandmother's name is Martha.
I think we see a kryptonite spear going up somebody's booty, but anyways.
Yeah.
But see, that's the point. That's what's so frustrating to me when walking out of Aquaman, the first thing in my mind was, DC, you could have done it like this, where you did Wonder Woman, you did Aquaman. And quite honestly, everybody kind of knows the Batman-Superman thing. Their origins.
Another origin.
You didn't need another origin movie.
And you already did an origin with Superman with Man of Steel, which was good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that one was kind of, that was already, whatever.
But it was better than the last one, Superman Returns.
Yeah, that was much better than Superman Returns.
Yeah. But it already established that. It established the tone, and you had a connection with them. With Justice League, you had no connection with the characters.
Exactly. Just, as we kind of wrap up our review of Aquaman, we all loved it.
Oh, yeah.
We all recommend it. And just, to me, I will say my final thoughts on it is that it's an excellent origin establishing movie. And it's kind of messed up that we saw Justice League before this movie. This movie should have been done before Justice League. That's just me.
Okay, so
that's how I feel strongly about it.
Oh, okay. So then with my final thoughts about it, it's like, I definitely loved, obviously I really loved Aquaman. And they're going to have a second one because then there was a teaser, at the mid-credit scene, and it shows, that Black Manta, he's coming back, which is going to be cool because I want to see more of that duel between them. I want to see more of that tension, that fight. Definitely want to see that relationship develop more with Mera and Aquaman. I was like, it's a romance. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
So I really want to see that. But in accordance to this Justice League, now it's like making me curious, what movie could they do with them all together again? And then it better be James Wan directing it because he did such an awesome job with this one. I don't want that other director who did Justice League.
Oh, Zack Snyder?
Yeah, no. I want Juan.
Everybody, you're not the only one.
Juan, you're number one.
Exactly.
What about you, Gio?
Yeah, Gio, your thoughts?
You did there. Juan, you're number one. Huh?
Of course.
I honestly, like you said it, man, it was one of those movies I loved it, but it got me so upset. Because it was like, why do we get this now? Why do we not get this from the beginning? It's almost like, I don't want to say it's too little too late, but it almost feels like that, where it's like, depending on where they go after this moment, it's either going to break the DCU or it's going to reestablish it again into a solid franchise.
Well, Shazam is coming.
Yeah, Shazam's coming, and it's interesting. Let's say, well, hey, as an independent, let's see how it works.
Yeah,
let's just see how it works.
I feel like Shazam is the Ant-Man for DC.
Could be, all right.
I like that comparison.
Could be, but hey, he's out there then. Another, may not be $1 gazillion, but hey, another cash grab and another establishing character, which is good. We could build up a new Justice League type of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, finishing this off, it's been reported that Henry Cavill, who was Superman, and Ben Affleck are no longer playing their roles. So obviously, again, you got to reestablish with a new Clark Kent and a possibly new Bruce Wayne.
Now, who could that be? Leave your comments who you think it should be.
Yep. Who do you think should be? And yeah, it'd be great. I think they're, like we've said, they pretty much have said, forget about those movies. We're start here. Yeah. And hopefully they can get it done correctly. And really, whoever they will get to play Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent in the future ought to be interesting. So, any final thoughts? Going around, everybody. Jocelyn.
No, go ahead, Gio.
Gio, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say that I really hope that this shows DC what the fans really want, and they respect the fans.
Yeah,
sounds good.
They take these franchises seriously because we grew up with them, and so did a lot of people. Now you're introducing them to a new generation of fans, which could be loyal for years and years, and just it's limitless what you can do. So hopefully they treat it right this time.
Well, I'm excited. I think my final thoughts of all this is yes, I want to see the sequel. I want to see, a continuation. With Marvel, we got 3, a trilogy, of Iron Man, the trilogy of Captain America. I'd like to see a trilogy of Jason. And also Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman, the second one's coming out with Cheetah as the villainess. So, if they continue to do this, then they're definitely going to get more of an investment from the viewers, and I think we'll be more satisfied.
Yeah. My final thoughts, again, like I said, like Gio, I was feeling a little frustrated that DC didn't start it this way, But, hey, it is what it is right now. So, hopefully, again, Shazam could be kind of the throwaway movie, or it could be, hey, we got another character movie type of thing. And then if they do plan on doing, I don't know if they'll have Cyborg or they're going to do anything with Flash or the movie universe Flash, see? So that's what's really, again, and whatever they plan on, if they're going to hire a new Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, where are they going to hire, who is it going to be? How young are they? Are they going to be the old versions, like what we talked about in the previous podcast? Are we going to get the older? Because we kind of did have an older Bruce Wayne in these last movies. So are we going to get like the Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne, where he's very old and needs an assistant to do all his fighting type of thing? That'd be kind of interesting. Maybe they could go that route too.
And get Robin.
Yeah, see, or get somebody. Get somebody and think about that. So you were listening to the Everyday Nerd Podcast. That was Joss.
Yep.
Gio down the end. I'm Lou P. Leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you guys, good or bad. Love to hear from you guys. So,
and you can find us.
Yes.
Remember, Everyday Nerd Podcast is just one word. Yeah. All right? Just don't try and get, complicated. Just one word.
Exactly. Let's not get too fancy.
And you can find it on Facebook, Everyday Nerd Podcast. We'll be trying to find a way to just put all our podcasts in just to one podcast venue, so it'll be easier for everybody. So just stay on the lookout for that. And then just for the videos, you can find these videos on my YouTube channel, which is Jocelyn RP. And so, yes, please watch and share. Yep.
Okay, so till next time.